Okay, so yesterday we covered the introduction part where, just a recap, we did the installation of VS Code. I showed you how to install this software. And then after installing this software, we also worked with we worked on creating files. Okay, before that we installed extensions, these extensions here. I told you which extensions we need, like HTML, CSS support. Yes, this extension here, we installed this extension. We also installed the Open in Browser extension. This one here. We also installed Open in PHP. This one here. And then we also installed the Bootstrap extension pack. The Bootstrap extension pack. Okay, not that one. Yes, this one. So this one has 8 extensions under it. So once you install this one, 8 extensions will install. And then we came here to file, and then we automated this autosave so that whatever the codes we are doing, they are saved automatically. And then after doing that, I showed you how to create a new file and a new folder. We went to desktop. Just let me take you there. We went to desktop, and then we created this file here. So I showed you how to create this file, this folder. And then after that, we opened this folder in, we opened it here in the VS Code, which is here, this folder. And then we created a file named introduction.html inside this folder. So it is here, and then we did the introduction part, which were the heading levels, and then we did the paragraphs, and then we tried to do a recap or maybe a demo page. So today we are going to do lists. So we are going to, I believe right now you know how to open the VS Code and create a file. So we're just going to go here, create a file, create a new file, and then we're going to name this file lists.html like that, and then we press enter on the keyboard. So once you press enter on the keyboard, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have it, yeah, let me just zoom it in so that you can see what I'm working on. So this is what you're going to have. It's going to be this one. So we are going to activate the HTML code. You're just going to hold Shift and 1 at the same time to bring about that exclamation mark, and then we press enter on the keyboard. So once you do enter on the keyboard, okay, this is what you're going to have once you do enter on the keyboard. So it's going to bring you these codes. So we're just going to replace this title, give it lists in HTML. We're just naming it something that we can relate with lists in HTML. So once you do that, you don't edit any other thing. Just come here inside the body tag. Remember I was telling you about the opening tag and the closing tag. So the first one is the opening tag, and then this one is the closing tag. So everything that you do should be inside the body tag. So now we are going to start with ordered lists. Ordered lists are lists that have numbers like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Those are ordered lists. So okay, let me just rename this to ordered lists. Ordered lists in HTML. So ordered lists are these are lists that are numbered. So when we want to start, we are going to do the tag is OL, ordered lists. So when you just type OL, it's going to come, then you can press enter like that, and then you open it again. So inside, now we are going to enter the list items. So the list item number 1 is LI. So let's say, for instance, we are doing shop items, things that people sell. Or maybe let's say you have a shop that sells dressing, and now you want to tell people more, you want to list the kind of dresses that you sell. So if you want to list the kind of dresses that you sell, we are going to do, let's say okay, I don't know the name of dresses. Let me use the names of shop items. Like, let's say you sell sugar, and then the next one, list item, you say you sell salt. The next one, list item, you sell tissue. And then the next one, you sell, let's say you sell a soap. And then the next one, let's say you sell tea leaves. And then the next one, let's say you sell books. And then also you sell pens. You sell rulers. Then also, let's say, apart from rulers, you also sell pencils. Okay, something like that. So we're just going to leave it at that. I don't want to list a lot of items. The list is endless, so you can keep on adding and adding. So this is ordered list. So we're just going to see what this is. When you just right click anywhere inside this one, you can click on this button to open in browser, or just right click anywhere in the file. It's going to give you this, open in PHP or in browser. So you're just going to go with that one. Then it will open it for you. So let me just zoom in so you can see. So this is the list. This is how it brings it out. So this is the ordered list. You can see it is numbered, number 1 up to the last number. So it numbers it for you. And then now there is another one called an ordered list. So for an ordered list, you're going to create a new file. Let's just be doing new files. So this one was ordered list. So I'm just going to rename this one to ordered lists. Ordered lists. So the next one, let's do an ordered lists. An ordered lists .html. So when you open it, it's going to be like this, and then we are going to activate the HTML codes by doing Shift-1 at the same time. Then you press enter on the keyboard. Once you press enter on the keyboard, this is what you're going to have. You will have activated the HTML codes. So we are going to replace the title name to unordered lists. Unordered lists in HTML, like that. So unordered lists in HTML, we are going to give them something. We will just replicate what we did the other time. So the tag is UL for an order list. Then you press enter, then you open it like that. Then inside now we enter the lists. The first list was we were selling shop items. The first one was sugar. The next one was salt. And then the next one was soap. And then we had a tissue. And then we had tea leaves. We had tea leaves. And then we also had books. We had pen. We had rulers. And then lastly, we had pencils. So we are also going to open this and see how it appears on the browser. So you just right click anywhere inside the file, and then you click open in PHP or in browser. So it's going to open it for you. So this is how an order lists appear. So this is how they appear. So this is how they appear. They are bullets. So like when we were doing the course outline, I was mentioning to you about an order list and how the kind of bullets that they come with an order list. So these rounded bullets only, they're the ones we use. So with lists in WordPress, we only have numbers and bullets. We don't have Romans, we don't have alphabets. So if you want, if all those Romans and alphabets, WordPress takes them as just text. They don't recognize those ones. They just take them as text. So you can, if you add them in your WordPress website, it will not take them as a number. They just take them as text. Any other special characters, like maybe the bullets that look like those different kind of bullets that we have in a Word document, like let's say this one, let me see, this kind of bullets here, all of these different kind of bullets, they are don't recognized in WordPress. Like WordPress does not know this kind of bullets. It only knows this one here that is rounded. These other ones does not know them. And then when it comes to numbers, it only recognizes numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So numbers that have alphabets in them and maybe 0, 1 like this one, they don't recognize these ones. So that is with the list. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to name it ordered lists. So I just told you that lists have two types. So instead of just doing a list.html, I decided to do ordered lists, and then I will do again an order list because there are two types. So we want to do them differently so that you can see the difference.
But can we just do lists without clarifying which list we want?
Okay, let's do them. List.html. So we are going to do all of them in one document so that you can see the difference maybe. So here, we are going to activate the HTML tags. So we are going to go to the keyboard and then just hit Shift+R to bring about the exclamation mark. So we have it here, as you can see. So we are going to replace the title name to lists in HTML. Lists in HTML. Lists in HTML. And then now after that, we are going to come in and we are going to start with order lists. But now because you need to know the difference, let me give them some little bit of headings so that you can understand what you're trying to do. So the first one, you're going to do ordered lists in HTML. I'm just giving them a heading so that you can understand the difference. Then below the heading, we are going to go to the list themselves. So the tag for order lists is OL. Always be using small letters because you can use capitals, but the VS Code, these codes are in small letters. Those tags are in small letters. So OL, then you open the tag. Then inside the OL tag, we are going to do the list items. We are going to list the list items. So LI is the tag for list item. So each of these items that you list on your website, they need to be inside a list item tag. So like if you're going to list like 10 items, you need to have like each of these items inside a list item, like the way I'm doing it. So we're going to list shop items. The first one is going to be sugar. So after the end of that list item, we press enter on the keyboard, and then we do list item again. Then we press enter. It's going to populate for us, and then we enter another list item, which is salt. The end, we press enter on the keyboard again, and then we type LI. It's going to bring it up. We press enter. We enter another list item, which is tea leaves. We're just listing shop items that we sell. We're assuming we have a shop. And then again, list item, we say we sell tissue. And then again, list item, we say we sell books. And then again, list item, we say we sell pens. Again, list item, we say we sell pencil. And then again, list item, we say we sell, let's say we sell rulers, like that. So this is a list item of things that we sell in our shop. So we are just going to add another list that is unordered. This one is numbered list, like number 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So we're going to add another one that is unordered, which is bulleted. So you don't add it after this. You come at the end of this tag. See, at the end of this tag here, the closing tag for ordered list, this one here. At the end of this closing tag for the ordered list, you come there and then you press enter. So we want to add another heading just to differentiate between the order list and the unordered list. So we're going to add another heading here to say these are now unordered lists in HTML. So after the closing tag for the heading H2, we're going to enter UL, which is the tag for unordered lists. So we press enter and then we open it. So inside the UL, we are going to enter the tags for list items. And then inside each tag for list item, we will now list the shop items that we are selling in an ordered list format. So LI number 1, we're going to enter sugar. So next, LI number 2, we're going to enter salt. Next, LI number 3, we're going to enter tea leaves. Next, LI number 4, we're going to enter tissue. After that, LI number 5, we're going to enter books. After that, LI number 6, we're going to enter pens. After that, LI number 7, we're going to enter pencils. After that, LI number 8, we're going to finish that with rollers. So after we finished with these ones, now we want to see how they look when we open them in the browser. So we want to see how they look. We can choose to click this one, or we can just open it like this. You can just right click, and then you'll have options like you have open in browser, default browser, or you have open in PHP. You have options, so you just click on any. So you're going to see your list format. So let me just, this is now ordered list, the ones that have numbers in them. And then when you scroll down, you're going to have an ordered list, those ones that have bullets. So the order lists have numbers, and order lists have bullets. Order lists, they are numbers. We are here. We are going to create a new file. We are going to call it forms.html. So like that. So we're going to hide this one a little bit so that we can see what you're working on. Number 1, we want to activate the HTML tags by hitting Shift 1. Bring about that. And then we're going to edit this title. I explained to you what this title is. So forms in HTML, like that. So inside the forms, we are now going to enter the tags for the forms. Before we do anything, we're going to write a tag called form, like that. Just write form, and then you press enter. Once you press enter, there is inside here, there is the quotation marks for opening and closing quotation marks. So inside there, we are going to write method. Method, okay, just a minute. Method equal sign should be get, like that. Or maybe you can just leave that for now. Moving to this particular greater than and less than sign, and then you open it like that. So once you open it, now we are going to enter labels, and we enter inputs. So there is an input type that we work with on forms. There are 6 input types. There is input type text. Let me type them here. Text. Okay. The problem with this one, you cannot type. Let me go to a Google document and then use it to type, so that you can see what the kind of input type we have. So we have, I'm going to zoom in, you can see. So we have input text. Input text, we have input tel. So this is for telephone numbers. Telephone numbers, if you want, maybe you're getting a survey, a form for a survey, and you want people to give you data. And then text, these are for names, things like a first name of somebody, the second name of somebody, and then the last name or third name of somebody. If you want their names, maybe you want a detail, like let's say you want email address, like that. And then the next input is input email. This one mostly we use it when we want to collect email addresses. So the next input is text area. So with this input type of text area, we use it when it is a box. Maybe when somebody comes to your website, they see a box. Maybe, let me see if we have a box. Let me show you what these things are practically. Let me go to our website here of a client, and then I'll show you. Let me go to the contact page, then show you a form that has all this information. So this is a form. So this one here, this is what we call a label. This one, where it is written first name. And then that where it's written first name, that is what we call a label. This one here is a label. First name, last name, those are labels. This is, and then where if you want to enter the name itself, this where when you click on it, and then it can give you an option to enter your name. So now that is where we call input. It's a box where you enter your details. The same to this one. Then this one is input email, where you can enter your email address. And then here is input tel, where you can enter your phone number. And then here is the text area. The text area is this part where you can enter your question. If you have a question, if you have an inquiry that you want to make, if you want to tell maybe you have a complaint, this is where you put your complaints. And then you have input submit, which is the submit button. After you have entered all your details, maybe you have a question you have been asking, and now you want to post it so that the owner of the website or maybe the admin of the website can get it. Now you can just click on submit. So I'm going to repeat again. We have 6 types of input. You have input text, you have input email, you have input tell where you can enter your phone numbers. Input text is where you just collect names of people. Input email is where you collect email addresses. Input tell is where you collect their phone numbers. And then text area is a box where people can enter their complaints, they can enter their questions, they can enter compliments if they have something nice to say about your services or your goods. And then we have submit. So the last one is, let me just fill up that area. Text area is where people enter their complaints, if they have compliments, if they have questions, if they have comments, if you're collecting reviews, or maybe recommendations, all of those stuff. And then we have input submit. Input submit is where the button, it is just the submit button that you click. You click this one when you want to submit your questions or your form. And then you have the last one, which is input radio. Input radio, these are radio buttons. These are radio buttons. Mostly we use it in surveys. We use these ones. We use this in surveys. I'm going to explain. So, how do we use them in survey? I want to give you an example of a radio. A radio has a button that puts this radio on or off. A radio has a button that switches it on or off. So we get this idea from the radio. Because it has this button that switches it on or off, so input radio also does that. When you're collecting a survey on your website, you will only give somebody an option to choose only one thing. For example, in this country of ours, Kenya, a person can only come from one county. The county where you are born, you can only be born from one county. Your ID can only read one county where you are born, your mother county. You can either come from Kisii or Nyamira, but you cannot come from both Kisii and Nyamira. You can either come from Nairobi or Kiambu, but you cannot be born in both Kiambu and Nairobi. It is not possible. Like your ID needs to have only one. So that is where input radio comes into play when we are doing a website. Mostly government websites, they use this input radio so much. Since websites where you can go and apply for jobs, they use these ones to give you choices. Or websites, maybe surveys where you are collecting yes or no questions, collecting yes or no answers. Yes or no answers. Here you only give somebody one choice. For instance, you can either come from Kiambu or Nairobi, but you cannot come from both Kiambu and Nairobi. I believe you understand what I mean by all this text that I've just written here. I'm just going to do that practically so that you can understand each of these things that I've just mentioned here. So I'll just go straight into it. So the forms, I had already done this part. where we are doing the input types, and we do forms, and then we enter the title in there. And then now we're going to start our form very simply by just entering a label. So don't worry about the for and all of that stuff. Just move into this part here where we have the greater than and less than sign, and then we enter first name. We want to enter the name of this person. We want to ask the name of this person. And then the input, just write input, then place enter. So we will have input text because it is a name. So the next, we want label again. Move to inside the greater than and less than sign. And then we will have a label called last name. Last name. We want to enter the name, the last name of this person. Because it is a name, we want the name. In the results, we want the name. So it will be input text. Then we are finished with the names. Now we want to enter, we want them to give us their email addresses. So inside here, we will say email address. At the end of that closing tag for the label, we will enter input. We'll enter input, which is going to give us input email. So it's just going to be input. So we will edit email. We will edit text to email like that. And then the next one, we're going to enter, we want them to give us their phone numbers. So we're going to write phone numbers. So the input is going to be tel. Put tel. And then next time we want text area. This is not, it's not a survey, it's just a simple thing. We want a text area. Text. So just write text area like that. So when you write text area, you don't have to add input, but if you want, you can add a label just to specify what you want with this one. It's just making it easy for people to understand what you actually want. You can tell them, enter your comments here, or maybe ask your questions here, whatever you choose to do. And then now under ID, just leave under ID, under name, leave it. And then there is something you need to add here. After this quotation marks for ID, you're going to add something. It's going to be under inside the text area. There is something we're going to add there, which is pretty simple. I'm just going to show you what it is. So when we're doing our forms, we have to enter the columns and the rows so that you can specify the sizes of our forms. Have to specify the sizes of our forms. So we will enter the columns and the rows of our forms. So inside here, after this part, we will enter another one called calls for the columns, calls. So these are things you need to write. So columns stands for the width. And then after that, you enter space and then you write rows. The rows will stand for the height. You can just enter any number depending on the space you want. So calls stands for the width, this way. And then the row stands for the height. So if it is a website like the one I shared with you here, let me check. So if it is a website, so calls stands for this area from this end. This is the width. And then the rows stands for this height. So if you enter 30 by 10, it means that from here to here it will be 30. From here to here it will be 10. So somebody can have enough space to write the information, like they can enter their space like that. So from this point this point here to this point, it is 30, and then from this point here to this point, it is 10 or something. So that is it. And then when you come here to the next one, is now the submit button. After this, you come in and then you write submit. Just write submit like that. Submit. Enter like that. Yeah, actually that is okay. Just write submit and then you press enter. So when you want to see what you have done, assuming you want to see what you have done, I'm just going to see what we have done, that you can actually see it. So you're just going to right click here and then you click open in browser. So this is our form, but it's not really styled properly. So I'm just going to show you how to style it better. So there is a special character we call breaking space or breaking line. So we're just going to be breaking the lines. We come here and then we add a tag BR, maybe double BR. We add these tags at the end of every detail that we have here so that we can add space in our, we want to add space. We want to add enough space. So after we have added enough space like that, now when you go and you observe what you have over there, you will notice when you come here and you observe, you see, this is what you will have. It will now be arranged really nicely. It will be arranged really nicely for you like this. So this is what you have at the end of all that hustle that you've just done. So it is a very nice form, although it is very simple, but it is a nice form, a form that you can use to collect simple information. So now, like I said, the first name is here. This where it is written first name, this one is a label, and then this one is an input. This is where you enter your name. Like you can say Anthony. See that? Then after that, the next one, this one is also a label, last name. So you can enter another name here, Koha. Then email address, this is a label, and then this is an input. You can enter your email address here. You can enter your email address there. And then after that, you can come down here, phone numbers, you enter your phone number like that. And then comments, this is now the text area, that area I've been telling you. So when you enter calls, you give it calls of 30 and rows of, give it calls 30 and rows 10. Now calls is this end, it is the width, and then this is the height, or maybe the length and the width, just like that. So this one, the longer end is the calls, and then the shorter end is the rows. So this is where somebody enters their comments, maybe their questions, and then we have the submit button. This is the button that somebody will click when they want to enter their information. So they will click that button, and then all the information this person has entered here is submitted to the administrator of the website. So that's just a simple form, very simple form, very, very simple.